Just then, a figure appeared behind Hu Jinming. Lin Luo looked up and saw a strong demon with wings on its back and horns on its head standing there, facing Dark Emperor's iron fist. The opponent easily caught it with one hand. Fear Demon King's gaze towards Lin Luo was filled with greed, and his sinister voice rang in his ear. "I didn't expect you to have such a powerful soul. Such intense emotions would be delicious if immersed in despair." After speaking, he surprisingly punched Dark Emperor away. The always victorious Dark Emperor was now being suppressed, and his life points started crazily dropping. Lin Luo felt a warning in his heart, just as the demonic figure approached him. The ferocious punch was so swift it almost caught him. A second-class advancement legendary master. Off guard, facing Fear Demon King's sudden heavy punch. A sudden umbrella appeared in front of Lin Luo. Lady Kagaya's timely appearance shielded him from this fatal blow. The next moment, a series of thunderous noises exploded in his ears, the umbrella precisely blocking all attacks. Withstanding the demon's attacks without breaching Lady Kagaya's defense, Lin Luo closely observed the situation and thought, "It was so fast. If it weren't for Lady Kagaya, things would have gone differently. I almost didn't react." He then loudly called out Dark Emperor. As Fear Demon King grew impatient, a burly figure suddenly appeared beside him, landing a heavy punch on his face. Fear Demon King staggered, roaring furiously. "I am the mighty Fear Demon King. All of you, get out of my way." Two strong substitutes instantly started a frenzied brawl in the living room without any defense or dodging, just a crazy onslaught of punches. Seeing Dark Emperor again being suppressed, Lin Luo immediately ordered Lady Kagaya to assist. Her umbrella instantly transformed into a long sword, and she swiftly charged in. Fear Demon King suddenly burst out with a ring of demon energy, shocking both substitutes at the same time. Lady Kagaya accidentally got hit by a punch. Her frail body instantly flung away. Lin Luo hurried to catch her, just as Fear Demon King raised his fists high, ready to smash them down on Dark Emperor. Lin Luo raised his head, his eyes flickering with cold light, and with a light shout, several green, slick tentacles instantly extended from his back. Fear Demon King's fists were instantly entangled by tentacles, followed by even more tentacles tightly binding Fear Demon King, just as Fear Demon King was about to burst out with demon energy. A long knife fiercely stabbed into his chest. Fear Demon King roared unwillingly, green flames suddenly engulfing his body. He bellowed, "I will not die. I am the fear in the hearts of all beings. As long as fear exists, I will come back." His muscular demonic body directly turned into a wisp of green flame, then scattered with the wind. As Fear Demon King dissipated, Lin Luo was visibly delighted, thinking that Lady Kagaya's attack carries real damage. The moment it is controlled by the combined power of Dark Emperor and Green Goblin, the Demon King was defeated efficiently. He flinched immediately, noticing Hu Jinming. Hu Jinming, who was just laughing crazily, stiffened. The green light in his eyes faded, returning to clarity. When he saw the scene before him, he let out a hoarse scream. Seeing the mutilated woman, he collapsed to the ground. He thought he had gained the power to turn his life around, but he didn't expect to unleash a terrifying, murderous demon, even being manipulated by it. As Hu Jinming was lost in thought, a faint voice sounded in his ear. "Do you have any last words before dying?" He suddenly looked up, only to see the man who killed his substitute, coldly looking down at him. He nervously said in a hurry, "Last words? What are you going to do? This is a misunderstanding. I didn't mean it. I was just controlled by my substitute." Lin Luo slowly pulled out his short blade and said calmly, "Murder for murder. You know this principle, don't you? And as long as you are alive, your substitute could cause chaos again." Hu Jinming, with a vacant look, murmured, "You were right. Murder for murder is only fair." He stood up, speaking in a daze. "I only have one request. My daughter is waiting for me to return home. Please tell her that Daddy has gone to a faraway place, and I will come back to find her when she grows up." As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Luo stabbed his chest with a knife, whispering in his ear, "Don't worry, I will take care of your daughter." Hu Jinming showed gratitude in his eyes, thanked him, and then breathed his last. Looking at Hu Jinming lying in the pool of blood, Lin Luo also felt a bit melancholic. Just then, a prompt sounded in his ear. "Your S-Class Talent Plunder has been activated. Please choose one among the target's attribute values. Talent effects, skill effects, and soul power to plunder. Lin Luo, thinking of the opponent's demonic-like substitute, which required his 3 substitutes to kill, was sure it was at least an S-class talent, and from the looks of it, that demonic substitute seemed to backlash and control its master. If he chose soul power, he could directly advance an S-class talent to S-class, but if he chose talent effect, he would obtain that powerful substitute. Lin Luo quickly made his choice. He wanted that demonic substitute who Jin Ming couldn't tame it, but that didn't mean he couldn't successfully plunder the target's talent. Congratulations on obtaining the S-class talent. Emotion Igniter, a surge of unprecedented, tumultuous power crazily rushed into his body. Lin Luo immediately opened his attribute panel. The S-class talent Emotion Igniter actually has 2 exclusive skills. The first skill, Emotional Induction, allows sensing the emotions of all beings within a 300,000-meter radius. The second skill, Emotional Detonation, can intensify the emotions of any being within a 300,000-meter radius by tenfold. Lin Luo looked at the talent attribute somewhat baffled. Although the skill range is ridiculously large, and the ability to control others' emotions is not bad, it doesn't seem to have any special features. Lin Luo immediately thought of that demonic figure. It seems this talent, like his Rainy Night talent, has its main abilities in the substitute. He then eagerly summoned the substitute, corresponding to the Emotion Igniter talent. Suddenly, the sky thundered loudly, and a pink figure descended from the sky. In front of Lin Luo suddenly appeared an expanding and contracting pink flesh ball. Lin Luo was again baffled. What is this? Where is my demonic substitute? He looked bewilderedly at the flesh ball in front of him and quickly checked its attributes. He was dumbfounded. The new substitute is named Fetal Movement. Apart from its full growth value, the other attributes are basically 0, and it only has 1 skill called Gestation. The substitute will absorb a certain main emotion decided by the host within a 300,000-meter radius as nourishment to be born. This means the substitute is not fixed in terms of abilities and forms, but requires the host's subsequent decision. Lin Luo decided to try it. He slowly closed his eyes, then activated the new talent skill Emotional Induction. His spirit began to extend infinitely. The emotions of all beings in Hang City reflected in his perception. He seemed to hear countless voices. Various emotions accompanied by these chaotic voices appeared one by one. Helplessness, fear and despair, anxiety and anticipation. Soon, the 5-second duration of Emotional Induction ended. Lin Luo broke out in a cold sweat, gasping loudly. Although it was only 5 seconds, the emotions and voices of millions of people were terrifying. Perhaps only high-spirited mages could bear it without burden. Now, Hang City is sealed by white fog, filled with negative emotions everywhere. Among these negative emotions, fear is one of the strongest. This might also be the reason why Hu Jinming chose this emotion as the nourishment for the substitute. Unexpectedly, it gave birth to the terrifying Fear Demon King. Although Fear Demon King is powerful, it is a double-edged sword. Since the direction of the substitute's gestation can be chosen, it's worth sensing the emotions of beings a few more times. There might be better choices. After understanding all this, Lin Luo put away the new substitute and asked Master of Wishes about the location of Hu Jinming's daughter. The little girl was scared, huddled in a corner, waiting for her dad to come home. Just then, a knock on the door sounded, and Lin Luo's voice came from outside. Hu Xinyue, are you home? I am your dad, Hu Jinming's friend. Upon hearing Lin Luo's voice, Hu Xinyue immediately opened the door for him. Soon after, the two got acquainted and little Hu Xinyue happily ate the food Lin Luo brought her. After a moment of thought, Lin Luo spoke. Your dad is protecting Hang City and can't come back for now. He asked me to take care of you during this time. Hu Xinyue's eyes were full of admiration. I knew my dad was very powerful. Lin Luo turned to her and voiced his earlier doubt. Hu Xinyue, you just opened the door for me directly. Weren't you afraid I was a trickster? Little Hu Xinyue innocently said, my talent is emotional induction. I can feel that Brother Lin Luo is only pure goodwill. So, Hu Xinyue believes Brother Lin Luo really is my dad's good friend. Lin Luo was slightly startled upon hearing this. He didn't expect Hu Xinyue and her father, Hu Jinming, to awaken similar emotional talents. After staying a while longer, Lin Luo reminded little Hu Xinyue not to open the door for strangers and then left. Lin Luo decided that once the fog cleared, he would send Huxin Yue to Wen Yuxi's home. Wen's mother, now retired, might be willing to adopt this orphan girl. In this chaotic world, people like Hu Jinming, unable to control themselves, are not uncommon. Conventional norms are no longer so important. For Lin Luo, only by becoming stronger can he protect those he wants to protect to master his own destiny. Even if his hands are stained with blood, he will never give up. The voice in Lin Luo's heart gradually shifted from hesitation to determination. I, Lin Luo, am neither a punisher of justice nor a tyrannical dictator. I aspire to be the maker of rules. At the entrance of Hidden Spirits Temple in Hang City, 5 figures slowly arrived. It was Yutai Jian and others. He expressed his doubt. Why isn't it here? According to my past life memory, the wormhole guardian should appear here. Liu suddenly spoke from the side. I think before we find the wormhole guardian, our 5-person team needs a leader. What do you think? Old Yu. Yutai Jian's face was expressionless. Merely asking non-committally, it seems Master Liu wants to be the leader. Liu's gaze was fixed on Yutai Jian. We are probably the most powerful awakeners in Hang City. Who else but me for the position of leader? I can defeat the other 3 alone. Only you. I cannot see through. Yutai Jian said indifferently. Although we are the highest talented group in Hang City, Dark Emperor has a significant head start. He might not be weaker than us. Right now, we need my past life memory to lead the way to level up. It's better for everyone not to fight among ourselves. Liu spoke with disdain. Aren't you overestimating that Dark Emperor? Didn't you say there was no such person in your past life? We both have SSS class talents. How could he be stronger than us? Since you're so wary of this Dark Emperor, if I kill him for you, take back his power. Wouldn't that prove I'm more suited to be the leader than you? Yutai Jian dodged Lu Yu's reaching hand and said indifferently, Dark Emperor took away my power, and I will take it back sooner or later. Without your interference, Liu thought sinisterly. I wonder if killing Dark Emperor will allow me to take Yutai Jian's power. At the very least, I can't let him successfully recover his strength. Once he regains his full form, gaining control won't be so easy. Yutai Jian paid no more attention to Lu Yu and turned to the young man at the back of the team, saying, Can you sense any trace of the wormhole guardian nearby? The young man closed his eyes. And in a moment, everything within a kilometer was within his sight. After a moment, he opened his eyes and slowly said, The strongest life form within a kilometer is a level 7 giant pincer mantis. Yutai Jian became somewhat annoyed and said, It seems the early mouse-level disaster has caused a shift in the position of the dimensional wormhole, making it different from my past life. Meanwhile, Lin Luo returned to the Hang City Administrative Center. His target was the wormhole guardian he had accidentally discovered earlier. Lin Luo looked up at the towering mountain-like monster and swallowed hard. This wormhole guardian is so huge, probably even one of its leg hairs is thicker than my thigh. As Lin Luo approached, the attribute panel of the Void King insect appeared before him. This insect, clearly only a level 34 D-class creature, had life points 10 times that of the level 35 monster commander he had encountered earlier. And both of its skills were about summoning minions, a ruthless tactic of an insect swarm. No wonder Hang City had to deploy a large army and missiles to kill it in the past life. But apart from its summoning ability, it doesn't seem as powerful as it looks. And such high attribute values are the perfect target for Dark Emperors seized by force. Thinking this, Lin Luo immediately summoned his 2 substitutes. Without a word, they charged at it. Dark Emperor directly used his exclusive skill, Seized by Force. But unexpectedly, the normally invincible Seized by Force failed this time. Lin Luo was slightly taken aback, not expecting the wormhole guardian to be so resilient. At that moment, the huge figure in front of him let out a thunderous roar. In the next second, the continuous, piercing noise of an insect swarm resounded in the fog. A dense army of insects quickly surrounded Lin Luo, although they were low-level creatures. Being overwhelmed by the swarm would make it hard for Lin Luo to protect himself. But the sheer number of creatures also meant a massive amount of experience points, which he didn't want to give up easily. Lin Luo immediately ordered Dark Emperor and Lady Kagaya to abandon the Void King insect and attack the insect swarm. Lady Kagaya elegantly weaved through the swarm, gracefully reaping the lives of these hideous creatures. while Dark Emperor's punches exploded, turning the low-level insects into a mist of blood and remains. But the swarm was too numerous, and no sooner had they slain one group than another surrounded them. Even Lin Luo himself was quickly encircled by the swarm. Dozens of swift sword auras swept through, rapidly harvesting the lives of the insects. The sounds of gaining experience points were incessant. At that moment, a helicopter broke through the clouds, with Yaomushi on board doing a report. The cameraman's face changed slightly, pointing to a spot in the sea of clouds. Yaomushi quickly looked over. "Ladies and gentlemen, we can see a gigantic creature emerging from the sea of clouds. And it seems there is someone fighting with it on its back." For the first time in her career, Yaomushi lost her composure on camera, exclaiming loudly, "This is incredible. Although the world has entered the era of global awakening, most people are not of a high level. How could someone be battling such a mountainous creature? Let's fly closer. We must capture this hero's valiant image and let Hang City and the entire world witness his bravery." Standing on the back of this colossal creature were Lin Luo and two others. The number of insects was overwhelming, causing Dark Emperor and Lady Kaguya to rapidly consume their energy. Lin Luo immediately crushed a god-given crystal fragment to restore their energy, then ordered the two substitutes to continue slaughtering the insects without relenting. He also joined the battle himself, but the Swift Sword aura consumed too much mana, forcing him to buy a large number of mana potions through the game interface to replenish the rapidly depleting mana. However, continuing to fight like this was not cost-effective. Just then, he heard the leveling up sound in his ear. Lin Luo's mind lit up, and he joyously allocated all 8 attribute points gained from leveling up to agility and all 4 skill points to All Swords Return to Origin. After the upgrade, All Swords Return to Origin would automatically generate 7 Swift Sword auras per second and could recall the emitted sword auras unharmed, significantly reducing mana consumption. After level 24, the power he could bring out of the instance also reached 67%, greatly enhancing his combat capabilities. Lin Luo knew it was time for a decisive battle with the Void King insect to show who rules Hang City. The two substitutes led the way, firmly protecting Lin Luo behind them, and the trio charged from the back of the Void King insect towards its head, leaving no survivors in their path.